Welcome to a new Clash of the Horns Super Bowl edition, LA Rams versus the New England Patriots, the revenge game. But what are the things the Rams have to do to win the Super Bowl, get the upper edge against the New England Patriots? And I'm going to have my top 5 things the Rams have to do fairly well and be disciplined in to win this game. Number 1, the Rams secondary, led by Aqib Talib, Marcus Peters, John Johnson, LaMarcus Joyner, and slot god Nickell Robey-Coleman. Those 5 guys will have to be very disciplined in this game. And when I talk about Marcus Peters, Aqib Talib, Nickell Robey-Coleman, those guys are going to have to press, and they're going to have to be a man-to-man constantly. You cannot give Tom Brady, and especially Julian Edelman, those easy 3, 4, 5 yards per play, because they will gash you and they will make you pay constantly. That's one of the things about Kansas City that I've noticed, and I've seen a couple of videos out there that have shown that in the Kansas City Chiefs game and the New England Patriots, they gave them those easy yards and they just kept eating them up, and eating them up until they got down to field goal position or the red zone, and they were scoring points that way. So you cannot give Tom Brady that space, that cushion, those easy yards, because he's going to just take them. And that's simply what the Rams cannot do. And that's a good job that they did against the New Orleans Saints. The only player that actually did anything in the passing game was Alvin Kamara, but that was because he was left alone against Corey Littleton constantly. And then eventually they designed the game plan to disrupt the timing of his route, which gave Drew Brees less time to react. So that's a good thing that the Rams game planned on after the second half. So the Rams had to go man-to-man, press coverage, get physical, disrupt the timing of those wide receivers and their routes, and don't give Tom Brady that confidence. Let him think it for a split second longer. Make him force throws that he usually would not make. And that takes me to step number 2. The Rams pass rush with Dante Fowler, Aaron Donald, Ndamukong Suh, and Michael Brockers. Those guys are going to have to play their butts off. And also, Samson Ebukam and Dante Fowler off the edge. Those guys are going to have to become very disruptive. It's not about getting after the quarterback necessarily, which would be awesome, but it's creating pressure. It's making him hesitate, making him overthink things, making him throw the ball outside of bounds. Don't give him time to get comfortable. If you can do that, Tom Brady may make a mistake, and those DBs that the Rams have with Aqib Talib back that only allows an average of 17 points per game, they can make them pay. That's an interception. That's time lost from the Patriots that the Rams can go and get a field goal or go get a touchdown or run the clock, or it's a game-winning interception. We have to be very disciplined in that sense. So the Rams with Aaron Donald, who is the best player in the defense in NFL, he might be a Hall of Famer. From where he's going at right now, he might be a Hall of Famer. Ndamukong Suh, which I would put him in that category as well with Aaron Donald, has been playing lights out in the playoffs. He's been a disruptive force in the passing game and in the running game. So we have to make sure we get after Tom Brady in the center of the pocket where he's more comfortable, where he's just looking around, seeing which easy yards he can get and go down the field. Step 3. C.J. Anderson, Todd Gurley. We have to feed them. And I'm not saying get big yards. I'm saying get 3 yards, get 4 yards per carry. Get physical. Offensive line is going to have to get physical. They're going to have to put their big boy pants on, because this New England Patriots defense, their front 7, is really good against the run. They have a lot of big bodies to stop the run, and they get physical. They remind me of the Chicago Bears and their run defense. That's how good they are. Kind of like how the Cowboys were hyped up to be a really good defense, especially their linebackers, but we ended up gashing them for like 200 yards. The Rams are going to have a fairly good game. I'm not saying we're going to have to blow them out of the water. No, just get necessary yardage early on. Make those run plays count, because if we're going to run the ball like we did against the New Orleans Saints, it's going to be a long day, and we cannot do that in the Super Bowl. We only have one shot, so we have to make the best of it. And I'm pretty sure Todd Gurley is anxious to get on the field and show that he is one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the league. And C.J. Anderson is just out here grinding away and just trying to put the Rams in the best position to win. So we have to make sure we get those much needed yards early on so we can set up the play action. And then here comes my boy, Jared Goff. Jared Goff doesn't have to have the best game of his life. He just has to be consistent. So when you're running the football, we have to make sure that they don't get one-dimensional. So we know that our offensive line is good. If we were to compare both offensive lines from the Rams and the Patriots, I would give the upper edge to the Rams because they have Andrew Whitworth, Roger Saffold, who is amazing in screen passes, which might be an advantage for the Rams because I've noticed that the New England Patriots like to blitz a lot, especially on third down. So we shouldn't be hitting them with the screen pass. And I'm pretty sure Sean McVay has that under his bag of tricks. So we have to make sure that the Rams can at least become a threat passing the football, but especially running the ball. If we can do that, we can win this game. And like I said, this New England Patriots defense, the front seven, they don't mess around, man. They got big boys, big bodies inside to stop the run. So we have to get very physical. And one thing the Patriots did back in 2002 is they got physical. They eliminated a lot of threats, which were Marshall Faulk back in the day, and they got physical against our wide receivers because they knew our wide receivers were really good. The only thing is when you're messing up the timing of those routes, and not only that, but you're hitting our wide receivers when they're about to catch the ball, that puts fear in the hearts, and that's one thing the Rams have to do. We got to get revenge. If we don't win this game, I will not hear the end of it. So we have to make sure that they capitalize. And this is a good group of guys that can get physical. So when we're running the football, just make sure to get physical. Make them pay. Andrew Whitworth, you have one chance, man. This may be your only chance to win a Super Bowl. You don't think guys like John Sullivan and Roger Saffold and Andrew Whitworth, C.J. Anderson, these old school guys, these guys are probably in the ending of their career. They're up there in age. So C.J. Anderson, I think he's 29, almost 30. So he's still, for running back, that's a lot of years. That's a lot of mileage. So these guys got to capitalize and try to win the Super Bowl now because who knows what might happen in the future. So I think the Rams do a good job of running the ball. At least good enough to set up the pass. And this is step number 4, which is Jared Goff. One thing about Jared Goff that I've noticed is his stats are better than Tom Brady's this season. So he has more passing yards, he has more touchdowns. There was a time where Tom Brady wasn't having the best season, and then that kind of struggled him. But so far in the playoffs, he's been basically perfect because no one can get at him. So that's one thing about the Rams is they have to get after Tom Brady. But that's already taken care of from the previous points I made. Jared Goff has to play mistake-free football. One thing, we have to protect Jared, and also we cannot allow him to make mistakes in the sense that we can't throw interceptions. Those are points on the board that the Rams need. I'd rather take a field goal than an interception any day, and time that's taken off the clock for the Rams. So we have to play mistake-free football. And one thing about Jared Goff is I was very impressed, and when he put his big boy pants on in the ending of that New Orleans Saints game where he put the Rams in field goal position, and he was getting hit, and they were blitzing, they weren't biting on the play action, so he threw the ball, rolling on his back, and he threw it and got a much needed yard to put the Rams in field goal position. So Jared Goff is a bad man, and we should not be thinking that he's not as good as Brady, because Brady ain't the same guy. Plus Jared Goff is getting better. He's developing in a fast way, and he can make this secondary pay for the New England's Patriots. So we have to make sure that he plays mistake-free football and just get those much-needed yards on third down. Get us those field goals. One thing that you need to do is get as many points as you can, whether that's field goals or whether that's a safety or a touchdown, because you do not want to be chasing points in the fourth quarter. That's when you're forcing throws. That's when you're taking more risk that maybe the New England Patriots might capitalize in, and that's another time of possession that you won't have or points that you won't have. So you have to make sure that Jared Goff is just confident in the pocket. They're going to be blitzing him, and that's one thing about the Patriots. They like to blitz. They will blitz on you on second and third down and all types of different ways. So we might have to hit them with the screen pass here and there. So maybe a pass down to the running backs, or maybe a play action down the middle, which the Rams do a lot with Robert Woods and my boy Josh Reynolds. So I don't know who the Patriots are going to cover. One thing about the Rams is supposedly the New England Patriots thing is that they will eliminate that one thing you do very well. So if you run the ball very well, supposedly they can eliminate that. If you have one wide receiver that it's going to be a problem, they can eliminate that. But the thing about the Rams is they have multiple guys to throw to. They have 2 tight ends that they can throw the ball to, Tyler Higbee and Gerald Everett. They have 2 wide receivers that are pretty similar with Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks. And then you have Josh Reynolds, who's a deep threat / slot / outside wide receiver. He's very three-dimensional. I like what I see from Josh Reynolds, and I thought when we picked him up in the draft that he was going to be a really good pickup for the Rams. A very underrated pickup for the Rams, especially with Cooper Kupp being injured. He has done a really good job. Maybe not as good as Cooper Kupp, but he's done a good job of, becoming clutch at certain instances. So we have to make sure that whatever the Patriots decide to do, we make them pay. So if they want to stop the run, play action, gash them in the air. And Goffense, Jared Goff is the best at play action passes down the field for big gains. So if Brandon Cooks comes and gets a revenge game against his old team. Now, the 5th and final point of how to beat the Patriots is coaching. And one thing that I have been saying about our coaches and our possible, Super Bowl appearance with the Patriots is Wade Phillips, with this time against the Denver Broncos, was a problem for the Patriots. Constantly AFC Championship, divisional rounds, Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is because of Wade Phillips. That's the only reason the Broncos in 2015 won against the Panthers, was because of the defense that Wade Phillips constructed and the way that he ran that defense. And the assignments and the schemes and the thing that they would take away. So if they were going to get after the quarterback, they would get after Cam. So we have to do a certain thing, and I'm pretty sure that Wade Phillips, he does one thing, but he does it so well, I don't think it's going to become a problem, because I've heard on the media that Wade Phillips doesn't change his game plan. He does one thing, but he does it very well. So we have his envisioned defense, which he didn't have last year, which was one of the reasons why they were beaten in the run and the passing. And the pass coverage game wasn't that great, and they allowed a lot of points defensively. Well, now with Aqib Talib, Marcus Peters, and Adonijah Suh, nose tackle, it's a really good defense where Wade Phillips is allowed to do many different things and get after the quarterback in many different ways. So he's going to go against Josh McDaniels. And Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady, they're a good duo. But when they struggle, they come back and forth like a divorcing couple. It doesn't look good, and the media kind of was talking about that when they were losing or when they were having problems. So Wade Phillips is a good storyline to follow, see what he has, his scheme and his game plan against the Patriots will be. But I think coaching-wise, the Rams have a good nucleus to go against the Patriots. Now, Sean McVay's going to have to go against Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick will try to eliminate something. So Sean McVay's going to have to game plan accordingly with this high-powered offense to go against Belichick and his mastermind of a defensive skill. And we'll have to see how the Rams really do in the Super Bowl to really get a good picture of what their coaching battles were. But I do give the upper hand of the Rams because of Wade Phillips. I think Wade Phillips can make Tom Brady's life a living hell. And the thing about the Patriots is their defense is not phenomenal. It's not like the 85 Bears, or it's not like the Ravens defense where they're good, or the Giants defense. They're disciplined. They're a really disciplined, I'm going to call them a top 15 defense in both the pass and the run. But they don't have superstars. They have 2 good corners and 1 good linebacker, and that's basically it. I don't see them being a problem, but they do what they do at a high level. Rams offensively, they're one of the best offenses. Defensively, they allow an average of 17 points per game with Aqib Talib back, and I think that's enough for the Rams to win. I honestly do. I feel very confident in a Rams victory to bring that Lombardi back to California and the city of Los Angeles. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, leave a share, leave a comment especially, and tell me what the scoreboard's going to be. Because we all know this is going to be a really exciting, especially for the Rams fans, the OGs. You know, they want to get revenge against the Patriots, and the Patriots have a lot to play for, because if Tom Brady wins this, who knows, he might retire, or he might try to, you know, come back and win another one. But I'm pretty sure if the Rams win this, the city of Los Angeles will be very grateful and will put the Rams back on the map of being one of the best franchises in NFL history. So make sure you leave a like, leave a share, leave a comment. Till next time, you guys, go Rams.
And 54 seconds away. A minute. The only way they can beat us is throw it and his ass scrambling.
In regulation. It is caught by Dyson. Can he get in? No, he cannot. Mike Jones made the tackle.
Coming up, it's Super Bowl 36 from New Orleans between the Rams and the Patriots. Kurt Warner. Picked off. Ty Law down the sidelines. Touchdown. They got Vinatieri in range. And it's right down the pipe. And the Patriots have won Super Bowl 36.
See, I survived the worst, but my life is glorious. Better know that I leaped every hurdle and I'm so victorious. Take a look, I'm a symbol of greatness. Now you can call me Morpheus. As for securing the win, but to believe I'm so notorious.
By Mackenzie Alexander. Cooks might have gotten away with a false start there. They didn't throw the flag. Now in the end zone. Come on! A minute and a half to go. Quarter number 3. Seam throw. Woods. Touchdown.
Get it.
First down, LA going for the whole thing. Cooks. Touchdown, LA. Brandon Cooks.
When it all got started, we were steadily just getting rejected, and it seemed like nothing we could do would ever get us respected. At best we were stressed, at the worst they probably said we're pathetic. Had all the pieces to that puzzle, just no way to connect it. I was fighting through every rhyme, tightening up every line, never resting the question if I was out of my mind. It finally came time to do it or let it die, so we put the chips on the table and told them to let it ride, singing, yeah.
Together we made it.
You see, we did it.
We made it even though we had our backs up against the wall.
Come on.
Forever we waited, and they told us we were never gonna get it, but we took it on the road, on the road, on the road. In the presence to this big and instrumental. On the road.
Ride with me.
On the road.
We come to get it.
On the road.
Yeah. Look. In case you misunderstand exactly what I'm building, things that I can leave for my children. Now on my wake up I smile to see how far I've come. Fighting for sales on a strip to a gate to hustle from. From nights in jail on a bench, using my muscle, son. To counting money like Dre and Jimmy and Russell once. But now I live when I dream. You see, we finally did it. Let's make a toast to the hustle, regardless how you get it. Sing it.
Together we made it.
You see, we did it.
We made it even though we had our backs up against